was refreshing. Now, to move forward, I would like to call on, because we are running out of time, I would like to call on Shafiq Khatana. So please come over here.
Serial number 5.
Serial number 5. Yes, join us, please.
मेरा नाम शफीक अहमद खटाना है। मैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट शोपियान का रहने वाला हूँ। आज मैं इस वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन पे बात करने जा रहा हूँ। एक कौम एक इलेक्शन को शुक्रिया। क्या हुआ बेटा?
Pulwama, I guess.
Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon everyone present here. I am Viksit, student of GDC Pulwama, and I am here today to enlighten my own thoughts on one nation, one election, paving the way for Viksit path. One individual may die for an idea. One individual may die for an idea, but that idea will, after his death, incarnate itself in 1,000 lives. The concept of one nation, one election refers to the idea of synchronizing elections for the Lok Sabha, India's lower house of parliament, and all state legislative assemblies. This would mean that elections across the country would be held simultaneously, rather than being staggered over different years. The phrase paving the way for Viksit Bharat translates to paving the way for developed India, suggesting that the implementation of one nation, one election is seen as a step toward achieving a more developed and efficient governance system in India. Paving the way for Viksit Bharat, the phrase Viksit Bharat, developed India, envisions a nation that is economically prosperous, socially inclusive, and globally competitive. The idea of one nation, one election is a bold reform aimed at streamlining India's electoral process and enhancing governance efficiency. While it presents several potential benefits, including cost saving, reduce disruption, and a focus on long-term developments. It also faces significant challenges, particularly in terms of constitutional amendments, political consensus, and logistical coordination. If successfully implemented, one nation, one election could pave the way for a more developed and prosperous India, aligned with the vision of Viksit Bharat. However, carefully consideration and board-based political support are essential to address the concerns and ensure that the reform achieves its intended objectives. आज हम यहाँ पर ये अहद करके जाएंगे कि हम अपने नेशन को डेवलप करने में पूरा ताउन करेंगे। अगर हम नहीं तो फिर कौन? Now I conclude with the goal of our country, which is we cannot stop. We cannot stop until this dream of a developed India is fulfilled. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat. Thank you. Moving fast forward, we have a participation from GDC Avantipura as well. So I take an opportunity to call on Sharika Jan from GDC Avantipura. Please.
Respected dignitaries, esteemed judges, and my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum. Today I stand before you to discuss a visionary reform that has the potential to transform democratic framework, one nation, one election. This concept aims to streamline our electoral process by holding simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha, state assemblies, and local bodies. ensuring a more efficient and cost-effective democratic system. As we strive towards Viksit Bharat, a developed India, it becomes imperative to examine how one nation, one election can pave the way for a stronger, more accountable and progressive democracy. One nation, one election, a step towards stability. The idea of simultaneous elections is not new. India successfully conducted simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies until 1967. However, this process was discontinued due to various political reasons and premature dissolution of assemblies. Now, as India aims to become a global economic power, it's time to revisit the system and bring much needed electoral reforms. Here is how one nation, one election can contribute to a stronger democracy. Ensuring political stability. When elections are held together, governments will have a full 5-year tenure to focus on policy implementation rather than being in a perpetual campaign mode. This will foster long-term development and stability in governance. Reducing electoral malpractices. Frequent elections encourage voter bank politics when parties offer short-term freebies instead of focusing on sustainable development. A single election every 5 years will promote issue-based politics rather than populist measures. Enhancing voter participation. Many voters, especially in urban areas, didn't participate in state or local elections. If all elections are conducted simultaneously, voter enthusiasm and participation are likely to increase, strengthening democratic engagement. Strengthening the election commission. Managing multiple elections throughout the year puts immense pressure on the election commission. A synchronized election cycle will allow the commission to efficiently allocate resources, ensure better monitoring, and curb electoral malpractices. One nation, one election is not just an electoral reform, it's a transformative step towards building a strong democracy. By streamlining the electoral process, ensuring stability, and reducing unnecessary expenses, we can create a governance system that prioritizes development over politics. As responsible citizens, it's our duty to support progressive changes that strengthen our nation. Let's unite in our vision for Viksit Bharat and work towards a future where democracy is efficient, transparent, and truly representative. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we have a last candidate from district Pulwama, Mahwish Jan from GDC Women's Pulwama. So please come over.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। मैं महविश जान गवर्नमेंट डिग्री कॉलेज वुमेन्स पुलवामा की एक तालिब इल्म हूँ। मैं आज इस मौजू पर बात करना चाहती हूँ। वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन, एक कौम एक इंतखाब। एक कौम एक इंतखाब का नारा हिंदुस्तान की सियासत में एक नया संदेश साबित हो सकता है। उसकी असल मकसद इंतखाबात के अमल को बेहतर बनाना और एक मुतहरिक मजबूत हुकूमत की तश्कील करना है। इस तस्वुर का मकसद हिंदुस्तान में तमाम इंतखाबी अमल को एक ही वक्त में कराना है ताकि वक्त और वसाइल की बचत हो और कौम की तरक्की में मजीद तेजी आए। विकसित भारत का ख्वाब सिर्फ एक मजबूत माशरत नहीं बल्कि एक मुस्तहकम सियासी निज़ाम के जरिए हासिल किया जा सकता है। हिंदुस्तान में अक्सर इंतखाबात अलग अलग वक्त पर मुनक्किद होते हैं जिससे सियासी अदम इस्तेहकाम और वसाइल की ज़िया होती है। इसके बरअक्स एक कौम एक इंतखाब का मॉडल इंतखाबात कार्रवाई को यकसान बनाने की कोशिश करता है जिससे तमाम रियासतों में मुतवाज़ी तौर पर तरक्की के मौक़े फराहम किए जा सकते हैं। अगर तमाम इंतखाबात में एक ही वक्त में होंगे तो हुकूमत के इक़्तिदार में आने का ज़्यादा मुस्तहिक होगा। ये सियासी फैसलों की तेजी से ज़्यादा अमलदारमंद होगा। इंतखाबी अमल पर होने वाले अखराजात को कम किया जा सकेगा क्योंकि एक ही वक्त में तमाम इंतखाबात कराए जाएंगे। जब इंतखाबात एक ही वक्त में होंगे तो ये निज़ाम की शफाफत और अवाम एतमाद को मज़ीद मुत्तसिल करेगा।
Thank you so much. Now it's time to hear from my home district, District Kulgam. So keeping myself very neutral, but thumbs up to students. So I would like to call Misbah Ashraf from GDC Frisal. So please.
respected principal sir, esteemed faculty members, and my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I am going to talk about the topic One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Viksit. The concept of One Nation, One Election refers to the idea of holding simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha and all state legislative assemblies across the country. Proponents argue that this approach could lead to a more efficient and cost-effective electoral process, reduce the disruption caused by frequent elections, and allow governments to focus on governance rather than being in perpetual comparison mode. Here's how it could pave the way for a Viksit Bharat as developed India. First one is cost efficiency. Conducting elections is an expensive affair involving massive logistical arrangements, security, and administrative efforts. Simultaneous elections could significantly reduce the financial burden on the exchequer, freeing up the resources for development projects. Second one is policy continuity. Frequent elections often lead to policy paralysis as government focus on short-term electoral gains rather than long-term development. Simultaneous elections could ensure a stable governance environment, enabling government to implement the policies with a long-term vision. Third one is improved voter turnout. Simultaneous elections could lead to higher voter turnout as it would be more convenient for voters to cast their ballots in one go rather than multiple times. This would strengthen democracy by ensuring greater participation. What are the considerations and challenges of One Nation, One Election paving the way for Viksit Bharat? First one is constitutional amendments. Implementing One Nation, One Election would require significant constitutional changes, including amendments to the Representation of the People Act and other related laws. Second one is federal structure. India's federal structure allows states to have their own political cycle. Synchronizing these cycles with national elections could be seen as infringement on states' autonomy. In conclusion, while the idea of One Nation, One Election holds promise for a more efficient and focused governance, model it would require careful consideration of the challenges involved. If implemented successfully, it would indeed pave the way for a Viksit Bharat by ensuring stability, reduce costs, and allowing governments to focus on their long-term developmental goals. Thanks.
I again welcome you, sir. Now we are left with three participants. So moving forward, I would like to call Sania Koyum from GDC Prasad. Again, please.
Honorable Principal, esteemed professors, respected guests and dear friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I stand before you to talk about a concept that has a potential to shape the future of our proud nation. The idea of One Nation, One Election. A proposal that, if implemented, would bring about a significant transformation in how our democracy functions. A proposal that is not just about simplifying electoral processes, but also about paving the way for Viksit Bharat, a developed India. The idea behind One Nation, One Election is not just about logistical convenience. It's about fostering a deeper connection between citizens and the democratic process. It's about creating a system where our leaders can focus on governance rather than constant campaigning. A system but they are held accountable for their promises, not just during election time, but throughout their tenure. In order to transform India into a Viksit Bharat, a developed nation, we need a governance model that is effective, focused, and free of distractions. One nation, one election is a step in that direction. When elections are held at the same time across the nation, political parties will be forced to focus on national issues, fostering debates on economic growth, social welfare, technological advancement, and environmental sustainability. This approach will help us address critical issues like poverty, education, healthcare, and infrastructure with a holistic perspective. We will be able to build a nation that is not just economically strong, but also socially inclusive and environmentally responsible. We will be able to invest in our people, the true wealth of India, and ensure that every citizen has access to quality healthcare, education, and opportunity for personal and professional growth. Lastly, I can say that it is a step towards realizing a dream for our Viksit Bharat. Thank you.
Well, GDC Russell, it is such a young college that we are seeing the participation from this college. So it's worth appreciation. So now calling Adfar Jan again from GDC Russell. So please, you are requested to come over here.
सदर महफिल, मुहतरम प्रिंसिपल साहब, मुअज़्ज़ज़ उस्ताद किराम और दीगर सामीन, अस्सलामु अलैकुम। आज हम एक बहुत अहम और इंतहाई जरूरी टॉपिक पर बात कर रहे हैं, वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन। ये एक ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट का हिस्सा है जो हमारी डेमोक्रेसी को एक नई राह दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा है। इसमें ये कहा गया है कि हमारे मुल्क में सब इलेक्शन, सेंट्रल, स्टेट और लोकल सब एक साथ हों। हम जानते हैं कि हर छोटे से छोटा इलेक्शन हमारे लिए कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है, लेकिन हमारे मुल्क में हर कुछ महीने बाद कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्शंस होते हैं जो कि बहुत से रिसोर्सेज की तलब करते हैं, जैसे कि पैसे, वक्त और मैन पावर। लेकिन अगर हम वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन को अपनाते हैं तो हमें ये सारी चीजें एक ही दफा मैनेज करनी पड़ेगी, जो कि काफी आसान हो सकता है। सबसे पहले ये सिस्टम हमारी डेमोक्रेसी को ज्यादा सफिशिएंट बना सकता है, और दूसरी बात ये है कि ये हमारी गवर्नेंस को बेहतर बना सकता है। आज हम देखते हैं कि अलग अलग इलेक्शंस की रिजल्ट्स की वजह से कंफ्यूजन होती है और कई बार पॉलिटिकल इंस्टेबिलिटी भी हो जाती है। अगर हम एक ही वक्त पर इलेक्शंस करते हैं तो हम एक कंसिस्टेंट और स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट बना सकते हैं, लेकिन इस कॉन्सेप्ट के अपने चैलेंजेस भी हैं। इस कॉन्सेप्ट को इम्प्लीमेंट करना इतना आसान भी नहीं होगा। हमें कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म्स की जरूरत पड़ेगी और हर स्टेट की अपनी पॉलिटिकल और रीजनल कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज को समझना होगा। हर स्टेट के इश्यूज और कंसर्न्स को एड्रेस करना होगा, तभी ये मॉडल सक्सेसफुल हो सकता है। दुनिया के कई मुल्कों में इस मॉडल को अपनाया गया है, जैसे यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में प्रेसिडेंशियल और मिड टर्म इलेक्शंस एक साथ होते हैं। इस तरह के सिस्टम से हमारी डेमोक्रेसी को स्ट्रेंथ मिलती है और इलेक्शन प्रोसेस को ज्यादा इफेक्टिव बनाया जाता है। आज हमारे मुल्क में हर इलेक्शन के बाद एक नए तरीके से पॉलिटिकल पोलराइजेशन होती है। अगर हम वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन को अपनाते हैं तो हम अपनी डेमोक्रेसी को ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग और स्टेबल बना सकते हैं। ये एक ऐसी आइडियोलॉजी है कि अगर हम इसको अपनाते हैं तो हम अपनी इलेक्टोरल प्रोसेस को ज्यादा सक्षम बना सकते हैं। थैंक्स।
Thank you so much. Now, before I call on the last participant, I would like to appreciate all the participating students, no matter what the results are, but I guess you have overcome the anxiety, you have overcome the fear. So taking the part in events like these, you are the part, being the part of the game is important, not the being the winner or all. For me, you all are the winners, so good luck for the scores. So now, to call on the last one, I would like to call Zainab Naushad from district, she's a student from district Kulgam. So please, you're requested to come over here.
In the words of Malcolm X, I quote, "It will be the ballot or it will be the bullet. It will be liberty or it will be death. And if you're not ready to pay that price, then freedom should not be a part of your vocabulary." Unquote. My warm greetings to one and all. I'm Zainab Naushad, and I'm going to speak on the topic One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Viksit Bharat. Let me begin with a quick question. Is the concept of one nation, one election hashtag a neologism or a new idea? The answer to this awe-inspiring question is absolutely not. Because if we flip the page of history, after the enforcement of our constitution on 26th of January 1950, the first general elections of the 1951 to 52 were held, and they were held together to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies. And same was the procedure with the elections of 1957, 1962, and 1967. Approximately more than half a century later, we are again in the way of our history. We are again in the way of our glorious historical past. And this reminds me of my favorite Kashmiri American poet, Aga Shahid Ali, who says, and I'm quoting him, "My memory is again in the way of your history. Your memory gets in the way of my memory." But why are we talking about one nation, one election? And how will it pave the way for Viksit Bharat? Well, we dream of a Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047, don't we? We all dream. A $30 trillion economy with all the attributes of a developed nation, don't we? Here a question might arise, how can we achieve this $30 trillion target with ease? Here is the way out. Yes, one nation, one election. Yes, you heard it right. I'll tell you how. First of all, simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies would definitely reduce the amount spent on elections. If we read the statistics, the report suggests that approximately rupees 60,000 crore were spent on the 2019 Lok Sabha elections alone. Let's move to the second aspect, say for example, good governance. Simultaneous elections are expected to increase efficiency, transparency, accountability, and responsiveness in the governance. Besides, a reduction in the model code of conduct would lead to policy continuity. Hence, the 129th Constitutional Amendment Act, the 129, I'm repeating, the 129th Constitutional Amendment Act, Amendment Bill 2024, which seeks to amend Article 83, Article 172, and Article 327, and Article 83A to the Indian Constitution, has the potential to work miracles and pave the way for Viksit Bharat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm a sports person, and in sports we say that success does not come how you begin the event. So how you end the event, that gives us the taste of the success. So it was a great listening. It was an enriching experience listening Zainab Naushad. So now it might take us 10-15 minutes to compile the results. So until that we will be distributing the refreshment, and the students can come up there with their own scores. They can make up their own scores. So I request Fazan to distribute the refreshment, and Bilal Saab.
May I request Salva Shah and Arujavani to come up the dais because there's a tie, and as per the mandate, we have to ask a question, and for that, I request Salva Shah and Arujavani to please come up the dais.
It will be simple. Please come.
Salva Shah and Arujavani, both of you better, please.
As you do. Common question. Elaborate करना ताकि direct question नहीं है. Yes sir, from there you can. Yes.
वहीं से आप बोल दीजिए सर. No issues.
Esteemed Principal Sahab, it's not working. Esteemed Principal Sahab, Mr. Dr. Musfar Ahmed Bhatt Sahab, jury members, faculty members, and their students, Adab, Assalamu Alaikum. So it was really nice experience to listen from the students. Though there used to be a time that students were more energetic while they speak on different bases, on different issues. But somehow we have managed to speak. Most of the students tried their best to speak out their heart and mind when it comes to an important issue on one election, one nation thing. So at the end of this, what we call it, the presentations, we came to the point, this fact that it has reached to tie between two students. So as per consensus, we reached to the this fact that let us ask one question to both of you, and both of you will try to answer that in a minute or so. So the question is that when we say one nation, one election, for example, कब election होते हैं पूरे country में, मान लीजिए अगली बार 2029 में पूरी country में elections हो गए, but एक या दो state assembly ऐसे रहे जहाँ पे hung assembly आ गई, किसी पार्टी ने मेजॉरिटी नहीं ली, तो उसका इलेक्शन रह गया. It creates some sort of question, anomaly or doubt कि इसको कैसे एड्रेस करें. आप इसको एक मिनट में अपने अपने तरीके से एक्सप्लेन कीजिए. फिर तो वन इलेक्शन नहीं रहा, उसको तो अलग से इलेक्शन करना है. तो who will start first? हाँ, बेटा मान लीजिए जो इलेक्शन जब हम कहते हैं ना वन इलेक्शन होना चाहिए पूरे नेशन में, पूरे कंट्री में. अब मान लीजिए एक दो कंट्री स्टेट ऐसे स्टेट असेंबली महाराष्ट्र, सपोज मैं कह रहा हूँ हरियाणा, जहां पे किसी पार्टी ने पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने मेजॉरिटी नहीं ली, और जहां पे पॉलिटिकल पार्टी मेजॉरिटी नहीं लेती है वहां पे क्या हो सकता है, उसको डिसॉल्व फिर से इलेक्शन हो सकते हैं. तो फिर वो जो आइडिया ऑफ वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन था, थोड़ा सा उसमें एक क्वेश्चन आ गया, एनॉमली आ गई, प्रॉब्लम सी आ गई क्योंकि 2 स्टेट्स रह गए, 3 रह सकते हैं, 10 रह सकते हैं। उस सूरत में उस चीज को, उस चैलेंज को हम कैसे एड्रेस कर सकते हैं? आप में से कौन सा जवाब देगा पहले? समझ आया क्वेश्चन? हाँ, हम कहते हैं ना एक मुल्क एक इलेक्शन, तो हम असेंबली में एक इलेक्शन में उनको फिर से इलेक्शन करना पड़ेगा, तो फिर वो आइडिया जो है उसको थोड़ा सा चैलेंज आता है। इस चैलेंज को कैसे एड्रेस करेंगे? मान लीजिए आप इलेक्टोरल ऑफिसर है, आप इलेक्शन कमीशन में काम कर रहे हैं, इलेक्शन पैनल में काम कर रहे हैं, या एज स्पीकर एज एन एक्सपर्ट, आप कैसे इसको बताएंगे? माइक पे बेटा,
बेटा फिर अपना नाम बोलिएगा।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
नाम बेटा
Salwa. As I have earlier mentioned in my speech that I am the voice of the future. जहाँ पे हर किसी इंडिविजुअल का एक स्लोगन रहना चाहिए कि I belong from the Viksit Bharat. I don't have any idea about this. Honestly speaking, I am from the Department of Computer Applications, but I'll try my best. First and foremost, all the individuals should have first the cooperation. मैंने क्या देखा है, in all the assemblies, there is no mutual cooperation. Perhaps see questions.
Okay, that is
ठीक है बेटा, आपने
I don't have any idea. I'm honestly saying that
कश्मीरी में बात आती है बेटा, समझ कश्मीरी में बताओ।
Sir, I don't have any idea about this. I am from department.
मैं सवाल कश्मीरी में बताऊं आपको बेटा, फिर समझ आए। क्वेश्चन कुछ मानो क्वेश्चन।
Yes, sir, I got it, but I don't have any idea.
Okay, then that's the answer. That's the answer. Fine. Okay, बेटा, next.
Okay.
रुजा बेटा, नाम अपना loudly बोलिए।
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I'm Aruja Wani. I'm also a student of Islam studies, so I also have no concept about that. But according to my perspective, अगर ऐसा हुआ तो हमें क्या देखना चाहिए कि मेजॉरिटी जो है, यानी लॉस ज्यादा होगा इससे या कुछ बेनिफिट्स हो सकती है। अगर इससे कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स वगैरह हुई, मतलब इन स्टेट्स में अगर इलेक्शंस नहीं हुई वहाँ पे, अगर उस वजह से उनको फोर्स की वजह से कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स वगैरह हुई, तो आई थिंक कि उनको वहाँ पे फिर अलग से ही इलेक्शन करना चाहिए, क्योंकि आफ्टर ऑल वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का मोटिव ही है कि हम मतलब जो है एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग पैदा करें लोगों में, जिससे एक भारत जो है वो विकसित भारत बने। तो इस वजह से आई थिंक कि उनको फिर वही ऑप्शन लेना चाहिए।
It is again time. It is again time. Bad news is that it is again time.
Sir, can I help it out, sir? So actually the question you asked is core concept of political science.
little bit
So it should have been a bit easier question. They are coming from the diverse fields. So finally, we are ready with the results. To announce the results, I would like to request our patron, worthy principal, Professor Muzaffar Ahmad Bhatt sir, along with the jury members, to come over this side of the dais and announce the results. Until then, students can make their own guesses. So let's see how they make their guesses.
Before announcing the results of the day, I would like to thank all the colleges of Shmm, Pulwama, Kulgam, and Anantnag who participated in this youth parliament. Last but not least, I am thankful to the faculty members from the different colleges who accompanied with the students. And the main organizers, my two NSS officers, Professor Naveen Haku and Sartaj Ahmed Ganai, who worked very hard to make this event successful. So once again, I'm thankful to you and all other faculty members who helped NSS officers for organizing this program. So now the time has come for the announcements. I think all are the winners, so don't lose your heart. So that we have some limitations because, as you know, that we have to select 5 students for today's event. So let me start from number 5th. So number 5th is Salwa Shah. And number 4, Uruja Wani. Number 3rd, Irtika Manzoor. Number 2, Sarush Nazir. What about number 1? Any guesses? Number 1 is Zainab Naushad.
So now I request Zainab Naushad to come over here and receive your memento, please. Next, Sarush Nazir. Then we have Irtika Manzoor. Uruja Wani. And the last one, Salwa Shah, please. Thank you for doing the honors, sir. You may please have a seat, sir. Please. Yes. For concluding remarks and to wrap up the event, I would like to call Professor Sartaj Ahmed for the vote of thanks. Please.
Honorable Chief Guest, respected jury members, heads of the departments, faculty members, distinguished officers from the college, dear participants, Assalamu alaikum, a very good afternoon. It is with great joy and immense gratitude that I stand before you to express my heartfelt thanks on behalf of the entire team of Viksit Bharat Youth Parliament. First and foremost, I extend my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, worthy principal, Professor Muzaffar Ahmad Bhatt, for gracing us and inspiring we people with his wisdom. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the distinguished jury members, which includes Professor Amreen Gulsha from GTC Boys Anantnag. We were having Dr. Khurshid Ahmed Mir from GTC Hyderpura, Dr. Ejazul Haq from GTC Bijbihara, Dr. Nasir Ahmed from GTC Boys Anantnag, and we were having Mr. Zakir Hussain Noon from Legal Aid Defense Council Anantnag. Sincere thanks to heads of various departments, accompanying faculty members from the different colleges. To our esteemed participants, thank you for your active engagement and thought-provoking contribution that made this event very much successful. A special note of appreciation to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports Government of India for choosing this as a nodal college for Viksit Bharat 2025. Special thanks to Mr. Kushal in absentia, who is not present with we people, but he has supported us and guided us how to organize this event. Very much thankful to that fellow as well. My sincere gratitude and thanks to the nodal officer of this district, none other than Dr. Naveen Haku, whose efforts behind the scenes have made this event possible. Your hard work and commitment have been the backbone of this very event. I would like to thank Professor Rohit Bashi, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, for moderating today's program. Last but not least, I would extend my gratitude to the media fraternity, Muntazir Saab, Bilal Saab, Faizan, and our beloved student Burhan for assisting the whole event. Thank you, and I wish you the very best in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Sardar Sahib thanked everyone, but then much gratitude to you, sir.
Thank you.
Couldn't have moved an inch without your support, without you standing by my side. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So in economics, we say complementary. These two are very complementary. They do everything in tandem. So this is all for the day. हमें अपनी दुआओं में याद रखना. Thank you so much. You can all